It's 1970. Chrysler is bragging about their 446 pack, Chevy is flexing their LS 6454, and Pontiac is busy hyping the GTO Judge. Muscle car fever is everywhere. But in the middle of all this noise, Cadillac quietly does something shocking. They unleash the largest displacement V8 ever offered by General Motors, the 500 cubic inch, 8.2-liter monster. A torque factory built not for drag strips, but for moving 5,000-pound luxury barges with authority. This was the Cadillac 500 V8, an engine so overbuilt, so refined, and yet so underrated that it became one of America's most forgotten torque legends. The story starts in the late 1960s. Cadillac was building cars that kept getting bigger and heavier, rolling living rooms tipping the scales at well over 2 tons. Their 472 V8 from 1968 was good, but Cadillac's engineers knew they needed even more grunt. So they stretched the stroke of the 472, and the result was the mighty 500. Same architecture, but tuned perfectly for effortless power. Now, here's what made the 500 special. Torque. Peak horsepower numbers looked decent at 400 horsepower, but the real star was 550 pound-feet of torque at just 3,000 RPM. That's more twist than a modern Dodge Hellcat, but delivered way earlier in the rev range. This wasn't about screaming down a quarter mile, it was about moving nearly 3 tons of Cadillac with one gentle push of the throttle. Smooth, silent, unstoppable. The debut came in the 1970 Eldorado, Cadillac's halo personal luxury coupe, and the fact that it was front-wheel drive made this even crazier. Most FWD cars at the time were econoboxes. Cadillac dropped in the biggest production V8 in the world. It was, for a while, the most powerful front-wheel drive car ever built. Owners said highway passing felt effortless. No downshifts, no drama, just endless wave of torque. By 1975, the 500 wasn't limited to just the Eldorado anymore. It became the standard engine across Cadillac's full-size lineup: DeVilles, Fleetwoods, even limousines. If you bought a Cadillac, you got the biggest engine GM had ever built. But then, the world changed. The early 70s brought emissions regulations, unleaded fuel, and the oil crisis. Engines everywhere were being strangled. By 1975, the 500's output dropped dramatically. 190 horsepower net, though torque still remained strong. By 1976, the end was near. The corporate average fuel economy laws sealed its fate. The Cadillac 500 disappeared, ending an era of unrestrained engineering excess. And yet, even in its swan song, the 500 stood apart. It wasn't a race motor, it was a luxury performance engine. Thick cylinder walls, a battleship-strong bottom end, carefully tuned Rochester Quadrajet carburetors, and smooth idle cams made it refined, reliable, and built to last. Many 500s are still running today, over 50 years later, powering not just Cadillacs, but also hot rods, RVS, and custom builds. What makes it legendary is not just its size, but its philosophy. While muscle car makers chased high RPM horsepower, Cadillac understood something deeper. For real-world luxury driving, torque is king. That instant surge, that unstoppable highway pull, that feeling of authority, that's what the Cadillac 500 delivered better than almost any other engine of its time. Today, enthusiasts are rediscovering these torque monsters. They might not have the fame of a Hemi or a big Chevy 454, but in the right car, a Cadillac 500 can deliver a unique driving experience. Smooth, effortless power that modern turbocharged engines just can't replicate. So next time you see a massive 70s Cadillac gliding silently down the road, remember this. Under that hood might be America's forgotten muscle weapon, the Cadillac 500 V8, the torque king that redefined what luxury performance could be. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever ridden in or driven a Cadillac 500 powered car? Would you like to see more engines like this get the spotlight they deserve? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love exploring forgotten legends of automotive history, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to Engine Insights USA, because we've got more torque-filled stories coming your way.